Hello, everyone. Pat Jones, and I am the father of the bride. Although because my wonderful wife Kim was a swim team mom here for 6 years, it was a pretty big deal. As a guy known as Mr. Kim Jones. This is where Kim and I had a wedding reception almost 30 years ago, although it was a different clubhouse and considerably cheaper. Kim and I and Steve and Deanna want to welcome everyone and thank you for coming today. I know some of you came particularly long distance, particularly on Michael's side, and we want to thank you for that. I wanted to send a special welcome to Michael's grandparents, Margarita and Ricardo Warnholz, and to Sarah's grandfather and great aunt, General Bill Bassnett and Charlotte Bassnett. I also want to thank Deanna and Steve and Margarita and Ricardo for putting together a video that's playing out on the patio. And if you haven't seen it, it's really pretty neat. Importantly, I want to thank Kim Jones, my wife, for all her hard work in arranging this weekend's festivities. As she will attest, I have done virtually nothing except write some checks. And Kim was willing to go along with this arrangement in exchange for not having to get my opinion on anything, which she wouldn't have listened to anyway, so I figured I'd make it myself. I also want to thank Ellie, our event coordinator here at the Yancey Golf Club, and Jesse, our wedding planner. In addition, I want to thank Gina and Bob Nelson for hosting the rehearsal dinner last night, which came off as a hit, even though they had no electricity. And Barb and Michael Jacobson for hosting the brunch tomorrow. Yay! Finally, I want to thank Leslie Watkins for presiding over today's ceremony. And I also want to congratulate her on being ordained this past week as a full connection deacon. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but being a demon deacon myself, you can always use more deacons. Woo! Go deacons! I want to say a few words about Sarah. Now, unlike my old friend Bolin Jones over there, I cannot get up here and wing it and make it sound like I spent hours preparing. I actually have to spend hours preparing. However, it was a lot of fun looking through old photos and files and stuff concerning Sarah. I've kept a journal since 1974, although my entries have tended to be a little sporadic. I looked at my entry for October 22nd, 1988, the day Sarah was born, and was surprised to find a blank page. However, I did find an entry on October 20th, which read as follows. October 20, 1988, 7 a.m. This is probably the first entry I've made all year, and it was. Kim is 5 days late. She is absolutely miserable. I really feel for her, but I think she thinks I'm not very sensitive about her situation. I mean, can you believe that? I just wish there was more I could do for her. I have a feeling that today is the day. I sure hope so. I also pray that baby Sarah is healthy and normal. I'm really getting excited. I've been pretty laid back so far, but I'm starting to feel the excitement. I really hope it's today. And the last thing I said was, by the way, I love Kim more than I could ever have imagined. Unfortunately, that was not the day. And Sarah did not arrive until 2 days later. And as a result, Kim and I celebrated our first anniversary at Piedmont Hospital 2 days after Sarah was born. They gave us steak dinner and put us in kind of a semi-private eating area with Kim sitting on a donut cushion. By the way, that was my only journal entry that year. As those of you who were at the rehearsal dinner last night probably gathered from some of the toasts, Sarah was the easiest of our 4 kids. And I think our 4 kids will agree with that. And it seems like just yesterday, Kim and I took her to first grade at Morningside Elementary School with a cast on her broken foot. During elementary school, she was a little bit pudgy and wore braces for 6 or 7 years. However, as you can see, our little caterpillar turned into a beautiful butterfly. I think that a lot of people who have met Sarah since high school think that she is a smart and talented actress I guess you call him actor, singer, and dancer. And while most people think of Christy as the athletic sister, Sarah was no slouch. I remember when she won the championship at one of her events at Druid Hills Golf Club in the swim team championship meet, and she started crying when she found out she did not beat her best time. She was named the MVP of the NYO Softball Majors All-Star Game in 2000. When she went 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, had 3 RBIs, stole 5 bases, and retired 3 straight batters when she pitched. Now, how did I know that? Well, it was actually written on the game ball that we had at our house. She was the heart and soul of the North Springs High School swim team her senior year, and she was also named Athlete of the Week by the Northside Neighbor. She was also the MVP of the North Springs JV softball team her sophomore year. She was actually the only pitcher they had, but she retired from softball after that season because of conflicts between her softball schedule and her rehearsal schedule for the plays she was in. By the way, if you think that your kid playing on an athletic team in high school is a big time commitment, it is nothing compared to being in a play. But the most amazing thing I ever saw Sarah do athletically or artistically was her dancing in the musical Chicago. I knew she was a great singer and actor, but I had no idea she could dance like that. And for last, she ended up being upside down in a chair. It was pretty cool. So after high school, Sarah spent a year freezing her tush off at Dartmouth before transferring to the University of Alabama, where she majored in musical theater. Who knew that the college that produced that year's national champion football team also had a fantastic performing arts program? Sarah thrived at Alabama and starred in a number of productions. She also produced and directed a play which included finding the theater space, auditioning and selecting the cast, and directing the play. And a fun fact is that in one of her plays Sarah starred in at Alabama, there was a younger actor who is now playing Alexander Hamilton in the touring production of Hamilton. Unfortunately, that relationship has resulted in no free tickets to Hamilton. By the way, did I mention that Sarah is one of the biggest Alabama football fans around? After college, she was on to the bright lights of New York City. While she never performed on Broadway, she landed a number of roles in plays outside of New York City, including glamorous Napanee, Indiana, in the heart of Amish country. There, 3 really good things came out of Sarah's time in New York City. First, and most important, Sarah made some dear friends, 2 of whom are here tonight. One is a former Rockette, and the other is a current Rockette. Abby and Jess, thank you for being here. Second, Kim visited Sarah often and got to see a lot of plays. Third, because Sarah worked at so many temp jobs, she now knows how to get in. She now knows New York City like the back of her hand. After 2 years in New York, Sarah came home, and we're so happy that she did. She decided she wanted to be a teacher, and after going through the Georgia Teaching Fellows program, which is the Georgia version of Teach for America, she's been an elementary school teacher the last 3 years. After teaching 4th grade the first year, she was named the drama teacher at a brand new elementary school, which I think is her dream job. I was in a 2-year men's Bible study group, and we spent a lot of time talking about a person's calling and a person's gifts. It's clear to me that Sarah not only has the calling to be a teacher, but she has the gift. Kim is Sarah's main parent assistant, and also helps with the musical. And I think it's really cute when the kids call Kim Miss Kim, and call Sarah Mrs. Jones. So I guess it'll be changed to Mrs. Hoffman pretty soon. Hopefully. Mr. and Mrs. whatever. And as good as she is at teaching, I have no doubt that Sarah will be an even better mother. And she has been provided with the perfect role model for being a great mother, my wife, Kim Jones. And speaking of Kim, And you're probably already aware she is dying to become a grandmother. So Sarah and Michael need to get cracking. And we don't need 10 grandkids like my college roommate Chip Holden, who's right here with his lovely wife Carol, and what we'll do to start. Sarah, your mom and I are so proud of you for all you've accomplished and the wonderful young woman you've become. And we're really excited for you as you enter this next stage of your life. Michael. Based on my research regarding Father of the Bride speeches, I understand that I'm supposed to keep my comments brief and the heavy lifting is left to your best man. Michael, I want to officially welcome you to the family, although you've been an unofficial member ever since you met the Bassnet Boys. I know you always look forward to your verbal sparring matches with them, including Uncle Bill. We went to the Masters this year and all they did was yap at each other all the whole time. And also to beating Mitch in ping pong.
Oh, only it was a challenge.
As many of you know, Michael loves ping pong, and he proudly displays some sort of plaque that says he won some sort of ping pong tournament in his trophy room that has just that. And I think when Kim and I asked Sarah and Michael what they wanted for Christmas last year, they, and Michael, said they would like an official ping pong table. So I'm thinking I'm going to get pretty easy. Ping pong table. Well, it turns out that buying an official ping pong table is like buying a pool table. And it's not just buying a piece of green plywood with 4 legs on it. Needless to say, we did not get off easy. They have a great ping pong table. As many of you also know, Michael is an avid hockey fan. And he also plays in several men's hockey leagues. That makes him the first hockey player in the Jones family. Jones family, however, are much more into golf. And after seeing Michael play golf one time, I can tell you that his slap shot swing is not going to be his friend on the golf course. Michael, one more thing I want to mention is to always remember the little things, like giving Sarah flowers at the end of a play that she has spent months working on. Just remember, it's the little things that count. So Michael, we couldn't be happier that you're now part of our family. Now I'm going to impart a couple of words of wisdom. Be true to each other, share your joys and your burdens, love much and laugh much, forgive as often as is required, and finally, be each other's best friend. Now I ask all of you to raise your glass and join me today in congratulating Sarah and Michael and wishing them all the best for a long and happy life. Cheers. Cheers!